The silhouette designs alone are insufficient to inform your art director of what you have in mind. Different people have different interpretations of what the interior design of the silhouette should be. Therefore, a more refined thumbnail needs to be created. Based on your silhouette designs, pick a few, usually between 3 to 5 depending on the project requirements, and do a rough thumbnail sketch based on it. Once the basic idea of the character has been finalized, you will move on to the details. This is the phase where much of the iteration takes place. This means that you are supposed to revise your design based on the feedback that you receive from the rest of your team members. Remember to stay flexible and listen to what they have to say. A visually interesting idea may be rejected due to gameplay restrictions, animation concerns, and or other technical limitations. I have selected 5 silhouettes that I would like to proceed on with thumbnails. I've selected them as they were the shapes that stood out to me the most. I will isolate each silhouette, rescale it to be a lot bigger, and lower the opacity of the silhouette layer. Next, I will create a new layer above the silhouette layer to start my lineup drawing above it. As I am drawing, I am filling in the details of the armor, clothing, and other accessories. I am also defining the facial features and the anatomy. The overall drawing is still somewhat rough, and I am mindful to not spend too much time on each thumbnail. A good time will be anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes for each thumbnail. I usually try not to shade, but sometimes I will do some light hatching as it is part of my personal drawing style. Working digitally, I can use some features in Photoshop to expedite the thumbnailing process. For example, in front view drawings, I can draw just one side of the drawing, duplicate the drawing and flip it to form the other side. At this stage, it is okay to deviate from the silhouette shapes slightly. In most cases, these differences could be a result of incorrect perspective of the silhouette. However, if you edit too much from the silhouette's base shape, then it sort of defeats the whole point of creating silhouettes in the first place. For this particular demo, I am using Procreate on my iPad Pro. In truth, it is possible to use any medium to create your silhouettes and thumbnails. Now, back in my day, we used to do thumbnail drawings with pen on paper. I personally enjoy the thumbnail stage in the character design process the most, as I feel that it's the most creatively fulfilling stage during the entire pipeline. Okay, so I've decided to go with this design as my final. I typically like to do a more refined line drawing to iron out the details on the character. However, this is entirely optional for you. During this stage, I enlarge the canvas so that I can really work on the character's facial details and the mechanical parts. I can further flesh out on the personality of the character through his expression and pose, but in this case I am not planning to tweak the pose. Sometimes I do have the issue of over detailing the character. At the end of the day, you have to be mindful of how much screen space the character will occupy. If this is a character for a platforming game, I will not have added so much details. However, I am designing this boss character for a current generation console game, so you can think of it as a Xbox One or PS4 game. So the fidelity has to be there so that he looks good during a close-up shot during a cutscene. As I am drawing the character, I am rotating the canvas around. I find that certain angles are easier for me to draw smooth lines. To rotate the canvas, you can select the rotate canvas tool or simply press R on the keyboard. For the next task, you are supposed to shortlist 5 silhouette designs from what you have drawn in task 3. Create a thumbnail drawing based on each of the shortlisted silhouettes. Therefore, in total, you should have 5 unique thumbnails. Use your research images to inform the details of the thumbnails. Show the 5 thumbnails to your teacher to seek his or her approval. Note that you may have to go back to the silhouette process if the teacher doesn't like any of your thumbnails. And as a word of warning, any student who proceeds to the final design without seeking approval will fail this particular assignment.